So today we have Drive World Roblox, and as quoted here by the game developers themselves, this is the ultimate racing adventure. And as somebody who has been thirsty for something fun, this looks like something we're experiencing. So today we're gonna be checking it out. So off the bat, you get access to three sports cars, and I think these are actually really balanced cars for starter cars. We got the Golf GTI, the Miata, and the new Subaru BRZ. The Golf here, as you can see, is actually the fastest vehicle available. It has the most horsepower and the highest, I want to call this the PI score. I don't really know what it's called, but in Forza, it's the PI score. I'm just going to go with the PI score. So you can see that you got the explodable features, the rev, the headlights. That's typical now in most modern games. But, it's good that this game has included that. So we're going to go for the Miata. Alright, so now we are on the road in the ultimate racing experience in Roblox. And I must say that personally, I am quite impressed. This chassis and just the way the car feels overall is actually very nice. It's very balanced. It kind of reminds me of Need for Speed Heat almost, where the car turns pretty sharply, and the camera really just does a good job of adding to the experience because it adjusts accordingly to the car, and it gives that intense effect whenever you put power down and you put the nitro on, which is really nice. Like, it gives you that proper experience of an arcade racer, and you have these arcade parts, I guess, to simulate the arcade experience and just make it a bit more enjoyable. And overall, I actually have to say I'm quite impressed because the driving experience is very good for this game. It's very well made. It's almost like a professional game that isn't on Roblox, which really impresses me. So a valuable asset for a Roblox racing game is having a good car list, and I have to say that this game does not disappoint. And that is because you have a pretty good selection, going from a lot of slow cars like hatchbacks all the way to SUVs, the hypercars. They have the modern popular cars like the C8, the Teslas, and the new Porsches, and they even have Lamborghinis that are not exact, but they're still Lamborghinis nonetheless, and that, I have to say, is pretty cool. Alright, so now let's talk racing experience in Roblox's ultimate racing adventure. I have to say off the bat that I actually really enjoyed my experiences, and I'll give some reasons to why that was the case. So for starters, I actually have to say the track may not be the most beautiful. I think it actually looks pretty decent. It's not like an ugly track. I think it looks good actually, to be honest, but in terms of drivability, if that's the right word to put it, the track actually has a lot of texture and terrain. Like, you can see these bumps on the road. It's not just a boring, simple road. It's it's more advanced, more complicated, and therefore it gives you a far more engaging experience. It's not simply just driving over a track and taking a right and left turn. You have elevation changes, you have bumps, you have sharp turns. It's just a lot more enjoyable, especially in an arcade game. And I have to say that I really like that they implemented that in, and I have to say the chassis in this game really accommodates that type of racetrack, because you can see the car really drives over the bumps so smoothly. It's the best in my wording. And other games wouldn't be able to really handle this type of terrain and whatnot. So I have to say this is very impressive, especially for a new game. And it looks like, lucky for us, the challenger driver had somehow managed to mess up in the end. I don't know how he did that, but he probably messed up in the jump. And here I'm able to close off the win, second place, and get 3.3k, which is nice. So the last feature I would consider fundamental for a good racing game is good customization and upgrading. So I will have to say, once again, I am impressed by this game. This is not filmy in terms of just good quality. Like, you have good engine upgrades, you have very good customization. Like, a hardtop in the Miata is amazing. The fact that you can customize that on such a new game, like, that is definitely an impressive feat. And here you have some more customization. I wouldn't really say this is that great. Now, spoiler is definitely a little bit more interesting. I see people using this a lot more. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty good selection too. It's not just some really crap spoiler. They have some pretty decent ones there. You got a good diffuser. I don't think I'd ever use anything but the diffuser, honestly, but it's still pretty cool that they had that type of customization available for those who enjoy that. So here you have very good rim selection, and this is what I'm talking about when I say rim selection. Like, I like the games that have the pre-used rims. Like, Ultimate Driving where you can use rims of any other car. Like, I wish like other games like Driving Empire would incorporate that, because me personally, I like that more than just having a custom set of rims. And the main reason I say that is because I just personally prefer factory rims to aftermarket rims, but that's just me. But anyways, you have tire customization, suspension, which unfortunately requires a game pass, which is a bit of an L. You have brakes, as typical of most games, and you have painting. It looks like you have multiple paint groups you can select and adjust accordingly, but it doesn't look like the Miata had that as an option. I guess it just might be for select cars, but it's still nice to have that. So here you have a color wheel, which surprisingly does not need Roblox. Like, I thought you needed a Roblox game pass for that, but it's cool you don't. And you have license plate customization. So the last thing we're going to discuss before I wrap up this video is the grind and progression, and I have to say that this game does a very good job at that. And the reason I say that is because personally, I really like the difficulty that this game provides in terms of grind, because to earn money you actually have to really put in the time. Like, racing alone does not just give you 50k handed to you. You actually only get like for the races I did, this race I got first place and I made 1.5k. The race before, the dirt race, I got second place and I only made 3.3k. So the race income is not very good, and therefore I suppose actually driving and doing the missions is the best way to make income. I'm yet to find out, because I have not played this game that much to make a good opinion or comment, but you know, that's just my experience so far. Now, I wouldn't say it's perfect, because they do kind of hand money to you, and that's just kind of an essential thing to do though in modern Roblox games, because if you want people to be entertained, especially people on Roblox, you have to have some way to make the progression easier. Like, I got this Civic Type R handed over to me just for playing the game for 30 minutes, which I won't complain about, because I don't think it's an OP car. It's not like a Ferrari or anything, so it's a bit more balanced. But you know, it's not perfect, but I think the progression is very good. Yeah, so if you were looking for a good game to play, or just a good racing game to try out, maybe start up on, this is definitely one to try out. It's got pretty good progression. I personally would recommend it. Like, I think it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking it out. And just keep in mind that I did not cover everything in this video. This was just a brief overview. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and comment down below if you want to see more content on this game in the future. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.